What's goody, y'all? Today we're gonna be reacting to the Boondocks trying to warn us about Dr. Umar. Let's get straight into the video.
So, what's up?
What's up? Struggle is up, brother. Oppression is up, brother.
If you don't want to be black, no problem. But can you please get the hell back? Last but not least, hit the Cash App for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy.
Dr. Umar Johnson. You probably at this point see him as just a meme. The loud speeches, the dashikis, the school that never opens, the fact that he keeps asking for money.
Quaker Grits is $20 million a year off black folks. Quaker Grits. Can I have your grit money for 1 year? Give me your grit money for 1 year and I will build 10 schools across this country.
But what if I told you that the Boondocks predicted all of it, even before Umar truly blew up? This video will break down how some of these characters in the show captures Umar. They capture his rise, his contradictions, and the fact that he let the black community down. So you'll see exactly how this cartoon warned us about a real man who promised a school and delivered absolutely nothing. Well, I can't say absolutely nothing. He has delivered a lot of comedy, people making fun of him.
We don't like nothing more than Michael Jordan. We spent more perm money than McDonald's, and you know I love a damn double fish fillet with cheese. Shamrock shake.
So when it's all said and done, a lot of this can't really be a surprise for us. Dr. Umar Johnson showed us exactly the kind of person that he is from the very beginning. The Boondocks wasn't just funny, it showed a future. It roasted everybody, rappers, politicians, music execs, TV execs, fake revolutionaries. No one was safe, and somehow 20 years later, it still hits. Why? Because every episode was layered with jokes on the surface, truth underneath, and a whole lot of criticism for the culture, particularly black culture. This show saw the BS before a lot of us did.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI.
That's why it still resonates. That's why it still circulates. That's why I still watch it as much as I can. That's why I even named my dog Riley. Rest in peace to my little man. So this show still matters. So we're gonna talk about an episode that reminded me a little bit about Dr. Umar. This episode was called Wingmen, season 2, episode 11. So Huey goes back to Chicago for a funeral, connects with his old best friend Cairo, and obviously instantly regrets it because Cairo is no longer the real one that Huey remembers. Now he's in full performative mode. Kufi on, Malcolm X glasses, spitting Hopetep bars like a spoken word poet that just discovered some incense. He says things like, "My brother, we must ascend past the Eurocentric gaze." And Huey is just staring at him like, bruh, what are you even talking about? And that is kind of the point of this situation. Cairo looks the part, he talks the part, he has the wardrobe, the slogans, the righteous vocabulary, but Huey sees it through immediately. Because underneath all that conscious branding, Cairo is just cosplaying liberation. Cairo's Afrocentric performance is the actual art. That's what makes it so rich, because this isn't just a roast, it's a warning. Same with Dr. Umar Johnson. You have the outfits, the fiery speeches, the loud Pan-African branding.
Maybe I need to come to Junior's in Brooklyn tonight and get my favorite meals. I can't tell y'all what they are because then the FBI will know what my favorite meals are. We don't want that.
But when it comes down to doing something that actually helps people, you know, like building a school, is just crickets and cash apps. Because at this point, Cairo, just like Umar, his words are big and powerful, but the actions don't match.
I've been thinking Dr. Umar been scamming since this man came out first. When I first ran into him on the Breakfast Club, this had to be back in 2011, 2012, but he was an obvious scammer. This was funny. I can see why black people hang on to him. They're like, oh, this guy ain't scamming. A lot of women might want to donate their money because they're saying, hey, at least he's trying. At least he's trying. Here's some money. Or, hey, look at that black guy trying to do this. He's not a scammer. He's not a scammer. That's just a lack in judgment and character. Look at this guy. Why isn't he married? You asking, what does this matter? Oh, it matters a lot.
That's why at this point, where the building is either going to be taken away or auctioned off or whatever, nothing has happened. It's been over 10 years and the man has not been able to build a school, but he has been able to get the Cash Apps, the PayPals, the Venmos.
I should have been had that $2 million. I should have had that $2 million 30 days after I started the fundraiser on May the 20th. It don't make no sense. But y'all sure called me up when the school's messing with your son. Did you make a donation to my school? Oh, not yet. Bye. Click.
He's been able to have paid speeches going across the world. He's able to go on podcasts and go into radio stations and just to throw out a bunch of lines that will be clipped for social media so he can continue to have his brand and continue to make that money while the school stays closed. So this man promised a school for over a decade. He toured the country collecting donations, millions raised, websites made, promo videos posted, and yet nothing has happened. Nothing is going on. People gave their money. Parents put hope into this man's vision, and he gave them tours of empty hallways. It's the same betrayal, it's just with bigger stakes. Umar abandoned the mission. Both chose the image, the brand over impact, the ego over effort.
Somebody left a weave at my school. Which one of you beautiful African sisters left your weave bun at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy?
There's no possible way that Dr. Umar could be traveling around the country providing speeches and build a school at the same time. It doesn't make any sense. A lot of us probably knew that for the most part, but you thought maybe, just maybe, he has invested in the right people, in the right infrastructure, and have enough resources that he can build a school while traveling the country. Even with LeBron James' school, I promise, the school is doing poorly. Because LeBron James doesn't know how to put a school together, it takes a lot of effort. You're not going to be able to travel the country providing speeches, going to podcasts, going to radio stations, spending hours on live, and be able to build a school. It's not possible.
Can I can't swear at him, Ed. Probably not. This is sick.
Good
Or
intentions
it's
can
highly
only
unlikely.
get you so far. A lot of people, they want to do these things, and that's cool. And a lot of times we make it a black and white thing. I grew up, I'd say that whole system was white, but I was taught by black teachers. And I thought all this was stupid. It was all stupid. It was all stupid. But then we always say like, hey, let's make something for black people. But we don't also take the good from the whites. That's what we got to do. Take the good and learn from every race.
That it's going to be successful. Now, there's another episode I found was very interesting. It's the episode of the hunger strike. This was season 2, episode 14. So Huey is fed up with BET, which I totally understand, especially at that point, and launches a hunger strike to protest how toxic the network is for the black community. And if you was watching BET at that time, it got really, really terrible. After the first owner who found BET, he sold it. And you can tell by the quality of the program, it started to slide. Actually, it just became more of a ghetto MTV. The shows were not the same how it was back in the early days of BET. It just went to more depravity. It went to more nonsense. So Huey is focused, he's serious, he says no food, no games. Then in slides in Reverend Rollo Goodlove, voiced by CeeLo Green, looking like a Times Square billboard. He's got the catchphrases, the matching merch, and the whole PR team behind his activism. This also could be compared to Al Sharpton, another person that I believe is a grifter. But let's focus on Dr. Umar. So Huey is starving for justice. Rollo's hungry for that brand deal, that money. He co-ops the protest with a theme song, a fake hunger strike of his own, and within days he's sitting in boardrooms, not organizing, but negotiating his own sitcom with BET. And if you think that's absurd, just look at Dr. Umar. Also, Al Sharpton has a show on MSNBC. But anyway, somewhere between building the school and saving the race, this man has basically turned into a spectacle. Now you have the Date with Dr. Umar contest.
I want to clarify the Date with the Doctor reality show that's going to be kicking off really, really soon. The Date with the Doctor reality show is really a conversation platform. It is a conversation platform where black women and I will exchange views and opinions on various issues affecting the world, the African race, and black women in particular. It will be a platform where black women can expose their brand, their business, and influence the culture of black women and influence the culture for black women. This is going to be an uplifting reality show. I'm calling it A Date with the Doctor because that is going to be the ambiance. That's going to be the context. That's going to be the background. It's not a real date. Let me say this again. I am not looking for a wife.
You've got live streams airing out family drama, shouting down critics, and blaming conspiracies for every single issue in his life. No foreplan, no timelines, just more donations and more drama. It's not a movement anymore. It's a one-man reality show.
Stop looking for free shit, okay? I got 6 degrees. I'm a real doctor, not the fake ones on YouTube. You understand? Real credentials, real school psychologist. Stop looking for free shit from me. We can afford to purchase the HVAC unit for the school and the gym. We can afford to purchase the HVAC material. We cannot afford to pay for the labor. It is the labor, brothers and sisters. It is the labor, brothers and sisters.
And just like Rollo, he's using the language of liberation to sell a product, himself. What started as a mission for black boys turned into a non-stop Umar tour. His mic is in his hand, his ego is unchecked, and the school is nowhere in sight. So let's line it up. Cairo showed us fake Afrocentrism. Rollo showed us fake activism. And Dr. Umar, he's basically the remix. He has the Cairo look, the Rollo hustle, and enough charisma to make both look legit until you actually check the scoreboard. It's like Umar giving a really passionate speech, but then start plugging in his Cash App and his Venmo and all the speeches he's gonna do so you guys can come because he's gonna get that big speech fee. So this is the moment where the joke stops being funny. Because the creator of Boondocks, Aaron Magruder, gave us these characters as a warning, exaggerated archetypes to roast the hustlers of the culture. But somehow many of us ignored the warning.
Time is running out. And a lot of black people say that, but for real.
Fox News is now streaming live on the Fox One app. Try it free today.
EVE Online is a vast...
Part of why the civil rights movement has been so successful, and part of why those who have come after in terms of our leadership have been able to maintain a presence, is that black people have always had a certain amount of moral currency that we have been using. And let me be the first to tell you, that's used up. White America has been watching us act like fools for a long enough time where any sympathy they may have had to our plight is completely gone.
Now, I've never donated anything to Dr. Umar, never will. But at the same time, people are nice and people want to be generous and people want to follow a dream. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. So the Boondocks is just a show, fictional characters, cartoons, right? But Umar, he took real money and left real damage because when a man like this steps up dressed as the revolutionary, shouting Pan-African slogans, it's not just about him, it stains the whole cause. He didn't just break promises, he broke belief. And this has ripple effects across our community, the black community, because many people believe that this system is failing us. Public schools fail us. You can say the healthcare is failing us. You can say the government is failing us. So when someone shows up claiming that they're going to do something different, people listen, people donate, people hope, and when that person turns out to be a grifter, that hope collapses into cynicism. And when the next organizer has to work twice as hard to prove that they're real, the next grassroots project struggles to raise money because folks remember the last time they got played. And meanwhile, Umar keeps going. He's still going to be loud, still dress up, still asking for money, still spinning the dream of a school while the school is basically being taken away from him. That's not just a failed project, that's trauma. It's the reason why many people mock Pan-Africanism. Not because they disagree necessarily, it's because it turned into a hustle. It turned into a way to make money. That's why people joke about woke scammers instead of rooting for real leaders. So it isn't really harmless. It's not just memes and bad faith speeches. It's about the trust and the damage done when you steal it in the name of...
Thank y'all for tuning in and watching the video today. Y'all be blessed.